you're going to want to make sure that the screws are loosened, they're not tightened all the way down, so that you're going to be able to fit the wire behind it and tighten it to it. And I'll show you what that looks like when I'm installing it in a minute. Now there's a lot of different kind of doorbells out there, and as you can see I have an older just standard doorbell. Now it is mounted, there's not a lot of room between the wood here and the wall, so it's very narrow. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. There are adapters that Ring sells and other companies that are extenders and to fit various different kinds of fittings for your doorbell and where it's located. As you can see, I've already removed the screws to this, and there's a little bit of caulking that was connecting it, so I have detached it. As you can see, you have your wiring, and I'll pull this back. Now, the first and most important step to this that I probably should have mentioned at the beginning is make sure you go and turn the breaker off that is connected to your doorbell. You do not want to be shocking yourself when you're working with the wiring. That's kind of the number one step with working with anything electrical. And I've went ahead and turned that off. So I'm going to go ahead and get my flathead and remove these screws here, and then I'll show you how to install the new doorbell. So as you can see with these wiring that I have on, goes for most doorbells, but you have your red, which is your hot, positive conducting wire, and this white wire is your neutral. So on the Ring doorbell, it doesn't matter which way it goes on, which wire goes on which screw, because you're just completing the circuit. So you can put either on either way, and it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these on and show you what it looks like when it's connected. So as you can see, I have put these wires on and wrap them around the screws and tighten the screws down. Sometimes you won't be working with a lot of wire and it'll be a tight spot, like my case. That's just the name of the game sometimes. So now what I'm going to show you how to screw and fasten this Ring doorbell to whatever your mounting location is. So in my case, I'm going to be mounting it to here. I've got these screws that were on my old doorbell. They're just little flathead screws, and sometimes you'll be able to use the same hardware and the same screws that were used to fasten your other doorbell, your old doorbell, which is what I'm going to do. You may need another size if the screws are too big to mount to the Ring doorbell that you have to fit in these holes to mount it. So go ahead and get you some screws that fit. In my case, I'll be using these for my old doorbell. Okay, I just throw those screws in there. I know, it's very ugly, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and paint and patch up all this around it. And the mounting location is not ideal, but this will work for now. You can always move it to a different location, maybe put it off to the side and redo the wiring. Today, I'm not doing that. So the last step is you're just going to throw this casing back on to cover up those screws, make it all look nice and pretty. Mine is pretty tight in there, but as you can see, that works. I'm going to go flip the breaker back on.